Every Ohio State University veterinary student has to spend 2 weeks at the OSU facility in Marysville, where they experience the world of large animal medicine.
All I ask out of you is that you're an enthusiastic learner. I don't care what your background is. I want you to come in this room jacked up, ready to learn some information. And before this 2 weeks are over, I hope that I have your brains hurting. I don't want to waste your time, okay? I don't want to waste my time. I'm not here to babysit you. I'm here to make sure that you learn everything you possibly can, and I'll do everything I can to push those buttons to make sure it happens, but in the end, it's all about you.
If you want to graduate from the Ohio State University School of Veterinary Medicine, you're required to take a 2-week rotation at the large animal clinic in Marysville. Once the students have been out in the field, it doesn't take them long to make some fundamental discoveries.
You're going to get very dirty.
I was like, I'm really freaked out and coming out to do cows, and I have no knowledge about cows outside of what we heard in class.
There's a lot of manure everywhere, and you have to step in it. There's no way around that, and you gotta bring your boots.
It is a difficult rotation simply because for a lot of people it's their first time that they've done a lot of work with large animals. The big thing to remember is that you can get hurt no matter what, so even if you're very comfortable working with large animals, you always have to have a certain respect for their size and power. But I think most people who are interested in veterinary medicine are kind of game for pretty much anything.
We get up in the morning and we start at 7:30 with a seminar, and that's kind of, that's not an optional thing. I'm pretty protective of that time period. Everybody got that? Check.
At 8:30, the trucks roll. The students and clinicians head out into the real world.
Our two big missions are to service clients and to teach students, and we just run a business just like any other practitioner would.
We were told from the very beginning that we're gonna be learning all the time, and that includes inside the trucks. That period of time where we're traveling in the car is time that's basically a classroom on wheels.
I don't like silence in my truck. I like to be teaching the whole time. When I found out what helped me was I started developing truck syllabi. So every morning when I get in the truck, I hand them a sheet of paper with a series of questions on it.
When the truck stops, the papers are put away, and it's time to attend to the animals, up close and personal.
What I expected to get out of this was to get the genuine large animal veterinary experience, to come in here and see what practicing on cattle and horses and sheep and goats are like in a very natural setting. And I certainly got that.
Med lists 3 rules for hitting a vein. Rule number 1 is good restraint. What's more important when you're trying to hit the jugular of a cat, the holder or the sticker?
The holder.
Exactly. So good restraint is the key. Rule number 2 is to completely, don't just stick your pinky finger here, but completely occlude the vein, put a lot of pressure. And rule number 3 is the best rule. Have the patience to allow it to stand up. As long as they're not dead. You see how much bigger that jugular is now than when we first looked at it? Watch, now watch when I first put my hand on it? Now if we have patience, it's big as a garden hose, you can't miss it.
Right.
You get one try, okay? Go up this way, get blood.
It was an incredible experience for me.
Excellent. Good, good.
We're vaccinating calves here, which means we're going to use automatic syringes, and we'll need about 21 doses. Right. So it means we got to mix up 25 of the Bovishield, and we're using a 2 cc dose of 7-way Clostridium, so those are in the 100 cc bottles on the upper shelf in the fridge. If you want to get that,
we run a business, and the students are there to not only observe, but they're an integral part of what we do.
Actually, there's water in it. There's a...
Okay, we're good, and I'm going to spend a few minutes with each one of you giving shots, and once you get used to it, then as fast as we can put them through, we're going to do that. Okay?
Sounds good.
doesn't matter who I start with. Basically, if you lay your needle up against them, a lot of times they'll stand there and tolerate it to put it in. And I squeezed the trigger and that was it.
Beautiful.
Okay, Irene, pull your guard off. You left-handed?
Nope.
Okay, right-handed?
Yeah.
Reach up there and just lay the needle against his skin.
It's kind of cool because I'm working with these large animals which I've never worked with before, and they're helping to build my confidence.
Go ahead, jab. Right, squeeze the trigger. Okay. Okay, and that you're on the right dose too, so go ahead and stick yours in there.
The program takes students a step beyond the medicine. They learn what it takes to build a successful practice.
I know they're going to learn the veterinary medicine. In fact, you know, our students have a great reputation for their veterinary medical skills. It's not always about the medicine that you do. It's a lot about how you treated that client while you were doing the medicine.
I think we should have enough.
The thing that's going to make them successful in a practice is their ability to make you feel happy that you came to this practice instead of going someplace else.
Ms. Kessler called us out because she had that yearling filly that had swelling on her pastern area, which is down near the foot. In evaluating it, the soft tissues are swollen. She's sensitive over it. I told Ms. Kessler that we really had to find out whether there was some bony involvement underneath it, so we took radiographs of it, and then we'll get those radiographs developed today yet, and I'll call her back and we'll make some decisions about how to manage the case from there. In the meantime, the students picked up on the fact that that filly had a little eye problem, a little weeping from her eye, which is very astute of them, and it's important for them to learn how to do because it's easy to get tunnel vision when you come out and they've told you there's a complaint and not look at the rest of the animal. Right there on the very corner. Yep. Taking up a little stain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you want to do about it? She said she noticed that she was tearing a little bit, but she didn't, you know. Anytime you and I see that tearing, we always think about that. Plus, she looks like she's a little bit blepharospastic, which means she's a little uncomfortable. So treatment?
Maybe give her a drop of atropine this once and put her on triple antibiotic ophtho.
Or put her on atropine until you see it dilate and then quit, right? I mean, the concern is to give her too much atropine, her gut goes static on you. That's pretty uncommon. It's something to watch for, but you got to give her enough to make a difference. And one drop, if one drop works, fine. If not, we'll give her a tube and tell her to put it in there 2 or 3 times a day, and once it's dilated, quit. That problem actually may be even more important than the one she called us out for.
When the students return to the clinic from a long day in the field, there's still plenty of work to do. But this was all made clear from day one.
We don't have cleaning people coming here on a daily basis, so you and I have to keep the place clean. If you think it's beneath you to clean up, then come see me after this seminar. We'll talk about it, okay?
We do the laundry for ourselves, and we also wash the coveralls for the clinicians on staff and fold them nicely.
At the end of the day, we make sure everything's in order in the clinic, taking out the trash, sweeping, mopping. We do pretty much everything ourselves.
One of the hardest things about being on this rotation is that there's a lot of physical work involved. You're out on the farms and you're working with the animals, you know, trying to handle them and give them their injections and examine them. And it's exhausting work, the cleaning up everything. You don't even really notice it so much during the day, but then when you get home or you get done with the rotation and then you have to study.
Hours of study every night. Because at the end of 2 weeks, the students must pass a rigorous exam to receive credit. But on this night, the studying will be interrupted. It's after midnight. An emergency call comes in. A few moments later, Dr. Midla and student Catherine Hirsch are on the road. On a nearby farm, a horse is in trouble. The horse was being transported across country. When the driver stopped to deliver another horse, he noticed that this one was having problems. It was unloaded from the truck and the clinic was called.
Colic in a horse is exactly like colic in a baby. Definition of colic is pain in the abdomen. The question is, what is the source of the pain in the abdomen? That could be something as simple as a little bit too much gas to a surgical lesion, such as an intussusception or a telescoping in of the bowel that can only be fixed by surgery. It's my job to tell the difference.
There is no adequate light source available on the farm. This late-night call under difficult conditions is excellent preparation for the real-life challenges of a large animal vet. The horse is stabilized and transported to a care facility. Another day is done.
We run a business, as well as providing those students that have never had exposure to farm animals the opportunity to get on the farms and experience it, because what I really want for them is to be able to make an intelligent decision about their career and not just based on the fact that they had a dog instead of a horse or a cow.
For the students, the OSU Marysville experience is eye-opening, challenging, and fun. And it's an invaluable aid in helping them evaluate their interests and their future.